Hi everybody, how are you all doing? Good, that's great. Okay, so I hope you are taking care of yourselves. Yes, very good. So, did you all understand the submission process? Just wanted to ask you all before we start the class. Yes, okay, that's very good. So, do you all know which class it is today? That's right, science. Okay, and do you all know what topic we are going to cover today? Okay, so some of y'all know, some of y'all don't. So we are going to learn about habitat. Okay, so do you know what habitat is? No? Okay, so let me tell you, in this class, you will learn about habitat and what is provided by the habitat to the species living in the habitat. Okay, for example, polar bears. Polar bears live in ice cold areas. So, what does the habitat provide polar bear with? So, that's what we are going to learn. Furthermore, we will also learn about the adaptation done by an animal according to the habitat. So, now if the polar bear is living in ice cold areas, how does the polar bear and its body adapt to those cold areas? Yes, so we're going to learn a lot many fun things today. I hope you'll have invited your friends too for this class. Yes, good job. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all video and then we'll go ahead with it. Okay, so just give me a second. I'm just going to show you the video. Yes, are we ready? Shall I start? Yes? Okay, good job. So let's start. So, our planet is a world of shifting landscapes, each with different challenges for the creatures who make it their homes. Now, this is very broad, okay, since there are multiple animals and multiple habitats. So, every animal is going to adapt itself to different habitats, and it's going to be very difficult for them to adapt themselves to another habitat if they ever have to migrate. Migrate means move from place to place. Okay, so it's going to be extremely difficult. So what we are going to do now is we are going to understand everything in depth. So diving deep under the water surface, we can see how one animal has evolved from underwater world inhabitants. Okay, so for example, the octopus. With its 8 arms, it propels itself along the seabed, sometimes swimming, sometimes climbing over rocks, feeling its way. So, what does this mean? It means that octopus has 8 legs. So sometimes it's going to swim, sometimes it's going to climb. Okay, the rocks which are there under on the seabed. Okay, so it's going to make its way. And another thing, can you see those suckers at the on the tentacles? Can you see them? Yes. Okay. So the suckers are covering its body. They are taste receptors. That means they taste everything that comes along the way. Now imagine you were covered with hundreds of tongues. What would you taste as you move along the ocean floor? Wouldn't that be like so amazing? So imagine this octopus has hundreds and hundreds of tongues. Yes, it's going to taste everything that comes along the way. Interesting, right? Okay, let's continue. The octopus is the master of disguise. Can you see how smoothly it disguises itself as a dead coral? Yes, so it's a master of disguise. Okay, being spineless without a single bone in its body means it can squeeze itself into a spot and disappear when necessary. Can you see how it's squeezing itself? Yes? Okay. So, like the octopus in the ocean, animals and plants all over the world have special ways of surviving in the place where they live. Their habitat, whether in woodland, water, deserts, or mountain, habitat holds everything a creature needs to grow. That is food, shelter, air, and water. Okay, so what does it, irrespective of where they are, be it desert, be it underwater, be it on mountains, be it anywhere, okay, even in woodland, that is in forest, there are four most essential things which every habitat is going to provide the animals. And what is it? Food, shelter, air, and water. These are the four things. Okay, let's go ahead. Plants provide shelter and food for herbivores, who in turn are prey for predators. Can you see this? Yes, that's a predator. In one way or another, they all depend on each other and they all have evolved and adapted to the place they call home. Okay, now since all of them has evolved, let's talk about some very specific animals. Shall we do that? Okay, let's do that. So today we are going to talk about three distinct animals, okay, and they all are bears, but they live in different places. Okay, so like these three bears, they are distinctly related, but they live in very different places. From the far frozen north to lush woodlands and the sweltering heat of bamboo. So this is the polar bear. Okay, this lives in the North Pole. This is the panda, which lives in, that's correct, woodlands. And this is a brown bear which lives in bamboo forest. Correct. Okay, so these they live in lush woodlands. Okay, so now there's a lot of heat where these brown bears live. Okay, so they all live in very different places. And don't you think that even though all of them are bears, they need to adapt themselves to the habitat? Like polar bears have a very thick coat on them. If they go to any of the lush woodlands with this coat, they won't be able to survive because they are adapted to their body is adapted to bearing the extremes of cold. Okay, similarly, if you look at the brown bear, it won't be able to survive in North Pole because it is used to that heat. So its body has adapted itself to that. So if it moves to the cold area, it won't be able to bear the cold. Yes? Shall we continue? Shall we go ahead? In the past, these bears have shared a common ancestor, but now they all changed and adapted to their local habitat. How are they different? What has changed? What kind of environment have they adapted to? Aren't all these questions that are coming in your mind, right? So let's go ahead and look at it. Polar bears have fake white coats, okay, and which the other two don't have. So polar bears, which are fake white coat, keeping them warm and making them less visible in the icy Arctic, which is not possible if it goes to the other two habitats. Okay, so yes, so since they are all very different, we need to talk about all of them in depth now. Can you see the polar bear? Yes? Okay, so they have fake white coats, keeping them warm and making them less visible in the icy Arctics. There are very few hiding places, okay, over here, and that's why they camouflage themselves into the white Arctic area. They can smell a seal several kilometers away and they can swim for days on end in freezing waters. Their fur repels water. What do you mean by repels? It does not allow it to soak the water. If it soaks the water, they'll feel more cold. So it repels water, and their forepaws are round and webbed. Great for swimming and walking on soft snow. So this was all about polar bears. Did you all understand how they have adapted? Yes? Oh, that's very good. So, shall we move on to the next one? That's right. Now we're going to talk about panda. Giant pandas spend their days searching and eating bamboos. Only bamboos. Let me make that clear. They must eat all day and sometimes part of the night too. So all these pandas do are eat, eat, eat. Be it day, be it night, be it whatever time of the day. They either eat or they sleep. That's all that they do. Okay, now pandas have larger heads than the other bears, if you all have noticed. Okay, so because they eat most of the time, so their jaws, the jaw muscles need to be strong for chewing those tough bamboos. They also have another unique feature because they spend all day stripping the leaves from branches. They have an extra thumb. So as compared to the others, we have one thumb, they have two thumbs. So that's a very interesting thing. See, can you see it? So they have an extra thumb because, yes, they keep stripping the bamboos from the trees. So did we understand about the pandas? Yes? Okay, let's move on to the brown bears. The brown bears live in woodlands where their food supply changes with the season. In the summers, there are plenty to eat, a good time to bring up cubs. There is fish to catch and berries to munch on, and these are wild berries, let me tell you all. Okay, in the autumn, brown bears eat as much as they can, getting ready for winter when food is hard to find and it's time to enter the den. Brown bears snooze their way through much of the winter using very little energy. Okay, so what do you mean by snooze? They sleep most of the time. So this is it about brown bears. So, three different bears from three different habitats. So, you learned quite a lot today. And I hope you're going to remember all of this. Yes? So, we learned about polar bears who live in Arctic, pandas who live and spend most of their times eating or sleeping. And then we have the brown bears who have to find their food, and their food changes as per their season. So, and what do they do during the winters? They sleep most of the time because it's very difficult to find food in winters. Okay, so I think we've learned quite a lot today. So, what we are going to do now is I'm going to post a link in the chat section and in the comment section on YouTube. Let's have a quiz and let's see how much y'all have learned. Yes? So, go ahead and click on the link so that we can get started. I'll give you 2 minutes and then we go ahead. It's more important to understand about habitats and how an animal adapts itself to that habitat over a period of time, like these three bears have. So there might be questions which are going to be tricky. So application is essential. Okay, let's get started. Okay, I can see most of y'all have started with the quiz. That's very good. Let's see who performs brilliantly. I am waiting to see who's going to top the scoreboard this time. The questions are easy, just apply. Application is essential. Okay, I believe this quiz was very easy. So I can see some people waving at me that they have already completed. That's very good. But we are going to wait for the others and then I'm going to discuss the quiz answers with you all. Right? Okay. Okay. Okay, how many of y'all have completed? Just give me a thumbs up so that I can have a count. Okay, pretty much most of y'all. Okay, so all those who are left, I'll just give you all a few more seconds. I think y'all can complete it too, and then we go ahead. Okay? Okay, shall we go ahead? So I'm going to show you all the quiz and we're going to discuss it together. Shall I start? Okay, let's get started. Your first question is, which of these statements is true? Habitat never changes or animals adopt according to habitat? Okay, so it's not adopt, it should be adapt according to habitat. Yes. So your first statement is false because habitat can never change. Animals change their habitat and they adapt themselves to that habitat. So your statement which is true is statement 2. Okay, that was marked incorrect. Let's go ahead. Which of these is a part of the habitat? So food, shelter, air, and water, all of them are a part of the habitat. Okay? Good job, everybody. Let's go ahead. Which of these have thick white fur to protect themselves from cold? Is it the polar bear, the panda, the cat, or monkey? Monkeys do not stay in cold areas, cats do not stay in cold areas, pandas stay in woodlands so that they can eat and eat and eat, and polar bears stay in cold. So your answer is polar bear. Which of these is the main food of panda? Is it the bamboo, the grass, or the berries? So pandas eat day and night and they only eat bamboo. Good job, everybody. Next one. During which season brown bear sleeps or hibernates? During summer, during winter, during spring. Okay, so brown bears have different food that they have to look for during different seasons. So during summer, they prepare themselves for the winter and eat as much as they can, because winter it's very difficult to find food. So they sleep through most of the winters. Good job. Okay, next question. Okay, so I think we are done with this one. So good job, guys. I'm very happy. Very good. So let's do one thing. Let me take you all through something very interesting. That's the experiment that we have planned for today. Okay, so let me do that. I am going to share my screen with you all, and we are going to learn how do these animals adapt themselves. Okay, so just give me a second and then we go ahead. Okay, science experiment. Okay, what we are going to do is we are going to talk about the Arctic habitat. We are going to perform the Arctic habitat experiment. Arctic habitat means the cold habitat where the polar bears live. And do you remember I told you all they have like a thick white fur coat, and that is called a blubber. Okay, now this blubber that is there protects them from cold because it's very thick, and if they move to any place which is not as cold, they would not be able to survive because they can't bear the heat. The heat will increase. Why? Because they have that blubber on and they cannot remove it, of course. And if they go to any warmer place, they won't be able to bear the heat because they'll start feeling hotter in the fat layers. So blubber is nothing but a fat layer. Okay, and that's what we are going to use. So we need a bowl of cold water, we need cream of fat because fat gives us a lot of heat, it produces a lot of heat, and we need a plastic glove. These are the three most important ingredients which we are going to use today. Shall we start with the experiment? It's a very simple experiment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show it to you all first and then we perform it together. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to take ice in a container. Okay. And we are going to keep it aside. And what we are going to need is a cream of fat. You all can use anything for that. So here we are using Crisco, and what we are going to do is first we are going to put our hand inside cold water. Okay, and you also need a glove. Okay, but we are not going to put on the glove right now. The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to put our hand in cold water. Do you think you'll be able to bear the cold water, the ice? I don't think more than few seconds you can put it in. So what we are going to do is we are going to put our hand inside the cold water and we are going to check how long can we bear it. So we put it in and it's really ice cold. Take it out as soon as you feel cold. Okay, you don't have to keep it as long as the video goes on. Just remove it as soon as you feel it's really cold and you can't bear it. Okay, and then wipe your hands properly, and that was just a few seconds we can keep because it's that cold. So now what we are going to do is we are going to take a lot of cream of fat, but to do that we are going to put our glove on. Okay, because that's the layer that we have, and we are going to take a lot of cream of fat inside from inside our can or whatever you have your cream in a bowl. Take a lot of cream of fat. Okay, because that's what is going to provide heat to your hand. Okay, just like the coats provide heat to the polar bear, this is going to provide heat to your hand. So, and don't apply it on your hand. Take like a lot of cream of fat and like not with the other hand, just like, yeah, just spread it on your hand, okay, like a lot of cream of fat, just so that you know that, okay, I'm not going to feel cold now. You'll feel it, and then dip your hand inside the water, and trust me, you will not feel anything, like just normal warm temperature. You won't feel the ice cold water. And why is that so? This is so because, firstly, you have a coat on, that is your glove. Second reason is that you have the cream of fat, and fat increases the heat. So even if you put your hand inside the bowl, you won't be able to feel. Okay, so of course, after performing this experiment, you can remove your glove, and that's it. So I hope you've learned a great deal of it. So let's perform it together. Take a jar, take a jug, and or a bowl, put a lot of ice in it. Yes, so let's take a bowl, put a lot of ice in it, and what we are going to do next is we are going to, yes, just check if you have all the materials. You need a bowl of ice, you need cream of fat. Here we are taking Crisco, and the third important thing that you need is a glove. Okay, so that's it. These are the three key ingredients that we need today. And even if you don't have glove, it's okay, but I would prefer if you have a plastic glove, at least a plastic glove on. If you don't have a rubber glove, any glove would do, any material. Now we're going to take a hand and we're going to put it inside water, and you all will see that it is ice cold. Do not keep your hand inside water for too long. If you're feeling it is extremely cold, remove it immediately, because that's what we want to check, right? So I don't think more than a few seconds you all will be able to bear the cold. Remove it out. We don't want to fall ill, right? And wipe your hand with a cloth. Okay, now the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to take a glove and put it on. Now this glove is going to act like a coat on your hand. Okay, so this is a coat that the polar bears have, and we are going to wear it. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to take a lot of Crisco. So we are going to put our hand inside and take a lot of Crisco. Okay, any cream of fat, be it Crisco, be it anything. So now this fat is going to act like a layer on your hand, and it's going to increase the temperature. So even if you put it in, you won't feel that it's so cold, okay, because it fat increases the temperature, and you won't be able to feel the ice cold water. Yes, so put it nicely on your hand, spread it on your hand so that it's evenly distributed. Just take as much as you can, okay. Don't like be a miser, yes, if I can say that, and dip your hand inside the water. And can you all feel anything? No, right? You can't feel the cold water. Why so? Because fat increases heat and it won't allow you to feel the cold water, right? Good job, everybody. I hope you learned a lot through this experiment. Yes, so you'll understand that fat increases the heat, and that's the reason why polar bears cannot live in hot areas, because their coat is already providing so much of warmth that if they go to any other place, they won't be able to bear the heat. Correct? Okay, so now it's quiz time again. I'll be posting the link in the chat section and in the comment section on YouTube. All you need to do is click on the link and get started. Yes? Okay, let's go ahead. I'll give you 2 minutes and then we're going to discuss it again. Okay, I hope, yes, I can see everyone has already started solving their quiz. Good job, everybody. I want to see who is going to top the scoreboard. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, here again the questions are applicatory questions, so you need to apply, and if you don't use your application, this quiz is going to be a little tough. So understand and solve the quiz. Okay, so our 2 minutes are already up, so I'll just give you all a few more seconds and then we will discuss it together. I can't see anyone. Okay. Oh, just 3 people just raised their hand that they've completed. Good job, guys, but most of them are still solving it. So I'll just give a few seconds more. I think you all will be able to complete it in that span of time. Okay, everyone started raising. Good job, guys. Just a few seconds more and then we discuss the answers. Are we done? Yes, good job. Okay, so just give me a second. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to solve it together. Okay, let's go. Okay, layer of fat acts as a thermal insulator. That means produces heat. What do you mean by this? It stops flow of heat in one direction. That means either going out or coming in. It stops flow of heat in all directions. That means it can neither come from outside nor from inside, or it allows heat to pass through easily. No. So the heat that is there inside the body is going to be stopped from all the directions. So it stops heat in all the directions. I hope you got this right. This was a tricky one. Okay, next one. The above experiment demonstrates global warming. No, okay, global warming is present, but we are causing global warming. So that's not what we would, demonstrating. Fat is an insulator, or ice melts under heat. Ice does melt under heat, but that's not what we were showing because that comes under global warming again. Fat is an insulator, that means does not allow heat to pass through. So that's what we were showing. So fat is an insulator. Good job. If you got this right, you all have applied. Very good. Which of these animals do you think have a layer of fat, that is blubber, to protect themselves from cold? Polar bear, seals, whales, all of them. Okay, polar bears live in ice cold area. Seals again live in ice cold area, and whales live at the bottom of the sea, which is again extremely cold. So all of them have a layer of fat. Good job if you all got this too. All of these are application questions. So I hope you all have tried hard and got this correct. Okay, next one. If the ice water is replaced by hot water, what will be the experience in both the cases? So feel less hot with fat layer? No, that won't be the case. Fat layer increases heat. Feel same as the fat layer? That is again incorrect because you're going to increase the heat inside. Feel hotter with the fat layer? That is correct. Okay. There's an error. It should be feel hotter with the fat layer. Which of these works on the same principle as demonstrated in this experiment? Quilt, hot case for chapati, that is carousel, or thermos flask. So quilts produce heat, you wear it at night. Hot case or chapati, that is carousel, you keep your rotis inside so that they stay warm. And thermos flask is to keep the liquids warm. So all of them. Good job. Good job, everybody. So I think we are done with our questions. And sorry, there was an error in this class, but you all got the right answers, right? Okay. So the next thing is I have a drawing for y'all. Are you all excited to draw it with me? Yes? Okay, good job. So give me a second, and till that time, just go and get your stationery ready. Yes, so what we are going to do is we are going to draw two habitats today. So you all are going to write your name, date, what grade you all are in, and name of the school. And also write what we are drawing. So we are going to draw habitat today. So just write habitat at the top. And let's quickly do that, and then we are going to draw it. Yes? Good job, guys. Okay, shall we go ahead? Everyone's done? Okay. So you all need to make a box and divide it into two equal halves. One side is going to be the aquatic habitat, that is the water habitat, and second is going to be the desert habitat, that is where there are extremes of temperatures, right? All the sand is there, like desert. I'm pretty sure you all know what desert is. So yes, exactly. That's what we are going to do. So what's more important is you show water in the aquatic habitat and you show sand in the desert habitat, and cactus so that it's desert. If you're like sand, how will you show? It's a little difficult, just color it. But cactus is going to represent desert habitat. So let's go ahead and do it. Yes, good job, guys. Very good. So I'll just give you a few seconds because this is extremely simple to draw. Okay. And let me tell you all one more thing, that to get your certificates, it is extremely important for you all to attend all 4 classes and make sure you all submit your entries for all 4 classes. And I'm going to personally go through them. And once you'll submit all 4 entries, I am going to give you all the certificates, and also I'm going to select top 10 and feature it on our website. So it can be any one of yours. So do give it your best, and it's okay if you all aren't able to complete it in the stipulated span that I provide you. I give you all a window of 2 days to submit, so you all can complete it after class and submit it online. Don't forget to submit it, okay? Even though you'll have a window of 2 days, some of you all do forget. So just stay calm, complete it, and submit it in those 2 days span. We have explained at the start, but we'll be explaining it to you again, the entire submission process. So if you're confused, just try and understand it again, okay? Just after we finish this. Okay, so let me ask, have you all completed drawing this? Oh, wow, I can see some beautiful drawings. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I just want to see all your drawings, okay? So good job, guys. Very nice. Beautiful drawings. Very good. Good job. Okay, great. So you all know the drill. 2 days span. Don't forget to submit it. And I'm going to personally be reviewing them and select top 10 and submit it and feature them on our website and submit it. So y'all don't forget to submit your entries. And I'll see you in the next class. Bye.